Venetian Village, where I grew up when I was a kid. This is a little pamphlet created for the sale of houses back in the definitely pre-1950 something, I think. I don't know, judging by the bathing suit on that girl. There's no real date that I can see on it, but I got this from a neighbor of mine when I was a kid doing like some history paper for school, local history stuff. And and he had it since he moved in. I used to interview him. He was an older gentleman when I was about 8 years old, back in the pre-90s, way pre-90s. He was in his 80s, I think. We used to go around after I found this, like, you know, my friends and I, because we were all kind of geeks a little bit. We went around a little bit and tried to figure out which houses these were in the pamphlet, if they were still here. I think we figured out at least one of them was, because we did get to the next one here. The wheel was still in the yard. It looked like a place over. Well, I won't tell you where it is. There were 2 lakes that we walked to. We're about 3 or 4 blocks from either lake, Sand Lake and Lake Miltmore. In our day, Lake Miltmore was swimming, but when I was really little, so was Sand Lake, and I guess Sand Lake had swimming again since then, so they always had seaweed problems. You know, either they had money for dredging or they didn't, you know. This was a later section of Lake Villa that got built. Lake Villa was kind of founded by, I think, the Lehmans. They had a hotel that burned in a fire in like 1915, and the subdivision was, yeah, they probably were kind of involved there at some point. I don't know. It was touted as being a summer home place when I was living there. And that's what everybody was saying, that, yeah, their houses were old converted summer homes for people that used to drive out from the city, from Chicago. So it's like, imagine being in the burbs today and you're driving an hour or 2 north into Wisconsin for a summer home. And this is what these people were moving to then, basically. I'm out in the suburbs. Still in the suburbs. See, on that map, they leave out the little Douglas Lake. They leave that out on the big map on the inside, too. I don't know if that was like all one property or it was already decided that wasn't going to be something. I know there's a lot of stuff out by that I think turned into some kind of part of it. I don't know, I drove by one day and there was a sign that said Duck Farm Forest Preserve, Like, really, that's where we used to go exploring the woods. I'll show you that on the map in a minute. This is the lake there. I think this is the lake Millmore across from Parma. We used to go sit for fireworks. It looks like a view of Lake Millmore from about there. But I think they moved the park down a bit, so or the park was longer. I'm not real sure. Every summer, 4th of July, that's where we went. We sit at the beach for fireworks there. There wasn't a swimming beach, but like all the local fireworks on the little lake. The cool thing about this weird little pamphlet is a map on the back. See if I wrote his name right on it somewhere. I remember this is an artist's interpretation of a trying to sell people's homes map. So it's not probably completely accurate, but it is interesting because that's where I grew up, and it's got probably 6 less streets on it than what I could remember, but with the big highways in the same place. 132 is right where it is, and then you turn down Verona and you get the welcome to Venetian Village sign or whatever they have there now. Woods on the left there. That was Fort Hickapow. I don't even want to discuss that. That was my outside of the 8 square blocks friends fort. Yeah. I went around different parts of the area. We were on our bikes all freaking day. We had like 16 square blocks to ride bikes in. The big thing was take the bike down, what is it? Was it Cremona? There was a great big, it's not a really big hill, but it's big enough for a little kid on a bike to go down. Oh, that might be my house, that one. See that weird looking one? That looks like the village hall, the first village hall. And then right about where that house is, that's almost exactly where my house was. Almost exactly. My grandma was friends with the person who lived across from the village hall there. And that's that little park that we used to watch the fireworks at. I think that's all the right place. It may be the office. See, there was this patch of woods back there to the west of all that we used to go exploring in, west and north and all that, and at least I think that's west and north. I don't know, I didn't see direction on there. but there were these woods, and we used to try and map them. We had walkie-talkies, and because later on we found that they were like snowmobile trails or something like that. And there's been arguments. Some people said, no, there are no snowmobile trails anywhere near there. And they said, no, they're this, no, they're that. I don't know. Well, we went back there one time. We got back 4 or 5 hours in all these paths and in these woods and stuff. And we come across a sign that said Griff's Bar. And we knew that was pretty far away from where we were, so that was one time. And then one time we go back there, and there's a snapping turtle right in the middle of this muddy area that everybody had crossed but myself. And I'm going to go across it. The last one across turns, and little sister turns, looks back at me. Oh my God, there's a snapping turtle, and I still have to cross a path. And I'm like, holy shit! And we ended up walking back on the highway that day, and I think my dad found us because it was like late. He was like, "What'd they do? Walk to McDonald's or something?" It was quite an interesting day. And there were bike trails and marsh. There's some kind of marsh fire every few years or something. We were all like, oh, somebody set the marsh on fire again. We don't know how that happened. We never did know how that happened, but when it did get on fire, oh my God, it was really bright. You could see the flames from, I don't know, it was quite a thing. Some of us might remember that. I don't know, I didn't really keep in touch with anybody from there, and I think we all had pretty strange childhoods. And there's a spot on the map up there by 132 that it claims there's a school there, and there is no school there, but I guess some people were always looking for the school that was supposed to be around there, and like there was some kind of dig for the foundation. I don't know. And then I don't know, I had a teacher that worked on an excavation at the Lehman Hotel for a little bit, I think. So we were all interested in that stuff when I was in grade school. It was a fun place to grow up. We all had strange lives, but we all definitely had our space. And we stayed outside all day. All day. It was, get up, have breakfast, and you were gone and out the door as long as you had your room clean or whatever. And you were out the door till the end of the night, until sometimes you missed dinner, and sometimes they saved you dinner, and sometimes you catch wind of them calling for you, down the block, and trying to find out where you are, because of course none of us had cell phones. It was too early for that. Yeah, but I drove by those woods one day, and part of them actually had a sign out front saying Duck Farm Forest Preserve, which was interesting because, if you went down the furthest street to one side, Antonio curved around, and I think that's how we found the paths one time, because the other part of Antonio was disconnected. There was like overgrown path between it. We were all like, oh, there's a street that's like fallen into, antique woods or something. I don't even know what we were thinking, but it was so weird. And then we go back and check it out just a little bit, and beyond the subdivision there's a horse farm, so we could go and look at the horses walking around anytime we wanted to. We'd just sneak back there and just stand there and look at the horses running back and forth. There was like maybe 16 horses or something. They were beautiful. I don't think any of us ever took pictures of them. And then we go back, and one day we start walking around, and we start walking around trying to find out who we can ask to, if we make a drawing of the horses or something, who we can ask to we wanted to find the other end of the farm or something. And so we walk around, I think Ingle Drive, and take a right, and somewhere over there to the right there was an entrance right by the road to a path. And we're like, hey, what the hell's this? And that's how we found it. After that, we found other people in the neighborhood kind of knew about it, but they got to it by cutting across a field at the back end of their road or something. And we didn't do that. We walked in on the Ingle little path. As once you were in, about a half mile in, there was this like fallen windmill thing. It was either a windmill or a water tower, one of those things in those pictures. I'm thinking it was. And there was one of those next to like an old abandoned house and stuff. We didn't go inside, but there was like this pond with little turtles. I mean, it was a strange place. Magical little Venetian Village.